Every celebrity on the Epstein list explained. Damn, bro, why aren't y'all on here, chat? I thought y'all would have been on here. I'm kidding. Wait, Trump is on here? He said he's not on here, so like we gotta listen. So this video is immediately false information. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Tommy, why ain't you there? Because I wasn't there, nigga. Because I was a kid when that was going on. Why would I be there? Chris Tucker, I've heard he was on it. He was on the plane. NFG, YXL, and BBG are all on the list. No, we are not. I hate when just come in chats and just be saying nah, but on the real, bro, why is Trump here? Like, guys, are we still talking about Epstein? I mean, this guy's been talked about for years. Yo, it's unbelievable. I'm still thinking that he actually said that. I heard Trump wants to pardon Diddy, apparently. That's low-key career suicide. I mean, he's the president, so like nothing's gonna happen to him, but it's like, how do you defend him? Especially publicly. Like, what are you gonna say if somebody's like, didn't he defend Diddy? Or like, pardon Diddy? We'll probably just do it at the end when his term's about to end. Let's go and see this though.
Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein first became acquainted in the late 1980s to early 1990s.
They knew each other in the 80s? Now this nigga definitely knew. Like, I always say this, bro. All the celebs connected with him definitely heard rumors at first. Maybe that's just a me thing. I'm not gonna fly on somebody's plane unless if I haven't like heard about things like that. I'm like, for me to have a connection with somebody like that, we have to be close for you to even invite me on your plane.
Both men were active in New York in Palm Beach high society, which made it easy for them to cross paths. Trump was already known as a wealthy businessman and real estate developer, while Epstein was building influence as a financier with powerful
Holy shit, this was always chopped.
connections. In 2002, Trump gave an interview to New York Magazine in which he described Epstein as a friend. He said, "I've known Jeff for 15 years, terrific guy. He likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side." This comment has been widely quoted because it suggests that Trump was aware of Epstein's preference for very young women, even if nothing illegal was directly acknowledged. There is also video footage from a 1992 party held in—
I mean, even though it's not illegal, it'd still be sick work, bro, if he was like, what, like 45, 50 with like 18-year-old and 19-year-olds. It's like, bro, he literally had like a cover wife. Like Ghislaine Maxwell was like a cover wife for him to show like, hey, I'm with somebody like close to my age, so you know, it don't matter.
At Mar-a-Lago, Trump's private resort in Palm Beach, Florida. In the video, Trump and Epstein can be seen laughing together, pointing at women, and enjoying themselves.
Bro, I remember seeing this video and his smile's actually like so demonic.
In the company of cheerleaders. This footage supports the idea that the two men were socially close at the time. Flight records from the 1990s show that Trump and some members of his family—
I think this is AI.
flew on
Unless I'm tripping.
Epstein's private jet. The jet was sometimes referred to in the media as the Lolita Express, although there is no evidence that illegal activity took place on the specific flights involving Trump. Epstein also kept a personal address book, sometimes called the Black Book, which contained names and contact details of many high-profile—
Nah, it doesn't exist though. Like, remember, that doesn't exist. It was completely checked out by our government. So yeah, there was no list. I don't even know what we're talking about. Are we still talking about this Epstein guy?
individuals, including Donald Trump. This book has been made public through court filings and investigative journalism. Epstein also once claimed, according to author Michael Wolff, that Trump was one of his closest friends. He reportedly told stories about their time together, including nights—
Like, you got like 10 different people literally saying, bro, they were like best friends. They all capping? Hey guys, Tom NFG here. Did you know only half of you guys are subscribed and even less of you guys have noties on? I hate to be a burden, but you know, I really appreciate it if you hit that sub button and the little bell next to it, you know? It doesn't take long. I know you can get mixed up in the algorithm and everything. But yeah, also tune into the streams, you know? We have a lot of fun over there, I'm telling you. We have a lot of parties going on over there. Yeah, that's it, bye. Damn.
York and Atlantic City, where they would look for women to meet. Epstein described these outings as part of their routine during their friendship. However, by 2004, the relationship between Trump and Epstein came to an end. Reports suggest that their falling out happened during a bidding war over a luxury mansion in Palm Beach.
Bro, I'm just in a different tax bracket. These niggas lost their fucking friendship over beefing over property. Yeah, I pray, bro, I enter this tax bracket one day, because what the hell? Man, the type of shit you probably lose your friends over is what? Your friend betrayed you or something. I mean, this is kind of, I guess, a betrayal if they talked about it. But like just different shit like that, like personal things happening. Like one of them couldn't be like, oh no, I want it because of this or whatever. Could we like split it? No, they were just like, they both wanted it.
Trump won the bid, and some sources say Epstein never forgave him for it. Other unconfirmed reports claim that Trump banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago after complaints that he had behaved inappropriately toward young women working at the club. While that ban was never officially confirmed, it has been repeated by various media outlets over the years. After Epstein was arrested in 2019, Trump publicly distanced himself from him. When asked by reporters, Trump said, "I had a falling out with him a long time ago. I was not a fan of his."
Yeah, you weren't a fan, you were a friend. Which I would say is worse than a fan.
Claimed that they had not spoken in over 15 years and denied any close relationship after their fallout. Later, during his political campaigns, Trump made additional comments. He at one point promised to release grand jury transcripts and other documents related to Epstein's criminal network. However, he later shifted his position, calling the people demanding the documents troublemakers.
What? Is this recent? This has to be old. Calling the people demanding the documents troublemakers. Bro, what do you mean troublemakers? If you're not on it, then they're not troublemaking for you. They're just ruining other people's lives, which would deserve it if they were doing stuff on the island.
And referring to the Epstein issue as a distraction created by political opponents.
Oh, okay, this is recent then.
No official legal filings or testimonies have ever accused Trump of participating.
See, at first, y'all, I was more on the side of like, probably got exposed if he was like doing some shit, minors, whatnot, etc. At minimum, either has people in the administration that did something on the island, allegedly allegations, hashtag allegations, government, hashtag allegations, just assuming. This is most likely what I'm thinking. Or he knew people, he's still close to people that did some shit there. That is 100% confirmed. I can guarantee that. He is still probably close to somebody that was doing some shit on that island. Would he step down? Like, let's say, scenario, it comes out, he's on the list, he did something with minors. Is he stepping down? Probably not. I don't think his ego would even like let that happen, bro. He literally just spammed that it's a lie. This is a lie. Something Biden. Something Obama. That'd be it the whole time. His own supporters hate him now. Oh yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say hate him, but it's like, it's on very fiery line where if he does something like pushing it, where like, first off, if he blocks them from releasing it, yeah, that might be the shit to like turn the tide, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the last people he's got, at least that are like the most support you see is like MAGA. Other than that, everybody that's like independent, of course, Democratic, like has just kind of spaced out, like stepped away and, you know, isn't with how things are going so far.
Participating in Epstein's sex trafficking activity.
You know he's gonna defend it. It doesn't matter.
Multiple news outlets, including the Washington Post, have confirmed that there is no direct evidence linking Trump to any of Epstein's crimes. Still, the fact that he was once socially close to Epstein continues to raise questions, especially in the court of public opinion. Bill Clinton's name often—
See, this is exactly why you don't be a freak ass nigga, bro. This man Trump probably has like 100 bodies or some shit. Bro, this is exactly what happens, bro. You keep getting freaky, you end up either like Diddy, like Epstein / maybe Trump, I don't know if he's on the list, and Bill Clinton.
Comes up in conversations about Jeffrey Epstein. This is mainly because they were connected through global charity work in political circles in the late 1990s and early 2000s. By this point, Epstein was known as a wealthy financier who donated to high-profile causes and moved in elite circles, while Clinton had just left the White House and was becoming deeply involved in international philanthropy. One of the earliest links between them was through the Clinton Global Initiative. Epstein was reportedly interested in being part of its early development. He was also active in major organizations like the Council on Foreign Relations. These overlapping interests in global development brought them—
Man, this pig is just insane, bro.
—into contact with one another. According to visitor logs, Epstein visited the White House at least 17 times between 1993 and 1995. During these visits, he reportedly attended donor events alongside musicians and other guests. These meetings took place while Clinton was still president.
This just shows, bro, how many people you think, like, hiddenly or like this, like, doing some freak shit like this or something, that, like, people just don't know about, publicly at least. Like, nobody knew publicly, like, Epstein was doing this shit or whatever until, like, the case came out. Probably a ton of people. That's a lot, and we'll just never know. Like, a lot of them, they have it set up so you just can't catch them at all. Like, even Epstein, bro, this man wasn't caught for, like, 25 years doing what he did, and eventually came down.
Although there is no evidence that the two men were close at the time, more attention was brought to their connection when it was revealed that Clinton flew on Epstein's private jet in the early 2000s. Flight records confirm that Clinton traveled on the jet at least 4 times between 2002 and 2003. These trips were to places—
When did the island come out? When did he buy the island?
Like Europe, Asia, and Africa, where Clinton was involved in speaking engagements and global health missions tied to his foundation. Each trip included Clinton's staff, Secret Service agents, and other invited guests. There is no evidence that these flights involved any illegal activity. When Epstein was arrested in 2019, Clinton publicly denied knowing anything about Epstein's crimes. In a statement, his office explained that Clinton had not spoken with—
You tell me you didn't hear anything, bro? Bro, as the former president of the United States, nobody came to you and said, yo, this dude may be doing some weird shit. You may want to, at least before it comes out, say something.
Epstein in many years, and had never visited Epstein's private island in the Caribbean. However, one of Epstein's accusers, Virginia Giuffre, later claimed that Clinton had been on the island in 2002. She said Epstein told her he owed Clinton favors, but there are no records.
Crazy work, favors.
And Clinton has strongly denied ever visiting the island. In his 2024 memoir titled Citizen, Clinton described Epstein as odd and admitted he regretted ever meeting him. He explained that Epstein had—
Odd, but y'all got like multiple pics together? Yeah, I'm not taking multiple pics for a nigga that I think is odd. Unless if I'm forced into the picture. He was smiling in that picture. Okay, obviously a nigga like Epstein or whatever, if I knew that, I'd never take a picture with him. But like, let's just say it's some dude I think is annoying. He's like, yo, let's take a picture real quick. I'd be like, fine. Like, I'll just take one and then now I'm out.
Had become involved in elite donor networks and was not someone he considered a close friend. Importantly, Bill Clinton has never been accused of any sexual misconduct in connection with Epstein's crimes. No court filings or law enforcement investigations have linked him to the sex trafficking operation that Epstein was
Yeah, because if he did do something like that, bro, he was the former president. Nigga had the Secret Service, CIA. Bro, they would just clear it up. Anybody that said something, they was taking him out. They would not let that come out.
Charged with.
He was better at hiding it,
has
yeah.
explained and defended his
And
past
before social media and whatnot and all that, it was definitely easier to hide things.
contact with Epstein, public interest in the story continues. Kevin Spacey, a well-known actor, has been named in documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. These
Bro, this
connections
is literally known as like one of the most evil actors ever. The amount of shit he's done, crimes, is absurd.
have raised questions,
Sexual crimes?
especially because of Spacey's own legal troubles in recent years. However, based on current public records, his link to Epstein appears limited to few public events and documents, with no evidence of direct involvement in Epstein's crimes. One of the clearest links between Spacey and Epstein comes from a 2002 humanitarian trip
He was in
organized
Bug's Life. He was Hopper. Oh, the fucking evil nigga? Of course.
by the Clinton Foundation. Spacey, along with former President Bill Clinton and other public figures, flew on Epstein's private jet to visit several countries in Africa. Flight records confirm that Spacey was on the jet during this time. The purpose of this journey was to support international aid work and raise awareness for public health issues. Young girls were seen at some of the visited charity centers, which later led to media speculation. However, Spacey has stated he was unaware of any inappropriate activity and had no personal relationship with Epstein. In addition to the flight, there is a famous photograph from 2000.
What the fuck? Why does she look dead? Oh my god. How did Epstein get rich for a private jet? Nobody knows. Literally nobody knows how he got rich, bro. I'm gonna be honest, do I think everybody that like flew in his plane in the past, like let's say you flew once, maybe you didn't do something? I don't know at the same time though. Bro, especially no, just the way they're hiding it now, it's kind of making me seem like iffy though. If I immediately heard something like this, somebody did this, at least in the past before I'd be like, I've heard he did some weird shit. At least so it's on the record, you know? Like let's say I flew there, I didn't know who he was or whatever, just came off as a nice guy, he said he was doing charity work, and I'd be like, yeah, on the record, I heard he does some weird shit, so I'm out.
2. Showing Kevin Spacey seated beside Ghislaine Maxwell at Buckingham Palace.
Just eyeball.
In the photo, the two are smiling while sitting on ceremonial thrones used by the British royal family. According to Spacey, the visit was part of a public tour and he did not know Maxwell personally. In July 2025, Kevin Spacey made public statements requesting that the government release all Epstein-related files. He wrote online, "Release the Epstein files, all of them. For those of us with nothing to fear, the truth cannot come soon enough." This message was seen by some as an attempt to
Okay.
clear his name and distance himself from the ongoing.
Yo, imagine right after it comes out, he's like, yo, that's not my name. Friendly fire? I don't know. I don't want to assume things, but Kevin Spacey's history of doing crimes, yeah. I don't know, man.
Conspiracy theories surrounding Epstein's network. Spacey has consistently stated that he had never visited Epstein's island and that he did not maintain any kind of personal friendship with Epstein or Maxwell. As of now, there is no credible evidence placing him at the center of Epstein's criminal activities. Prince Andrew, the Duke of York and second son of Queen Elizabeth II.
Holy bro. You know how they show like royal families and like shows? Supposed to have the Prince Charming, the Queen, the King. They're supposed to look handsome, have the coronations and shit. But that shit was a lie. This nigga chopped his bro. It shouldn't even have been that hard for him to even get a woman that's fine his age.
Became connected to Jeffrey Epstein in the late 1990s. Their relationship began through Ghislaine Maxwell, where Prince Andrew...
See, that's how you know it f***ed up. Yeah, it came through Maxwell, it's over.
Stated that he met Maxwell first, and that she later introduced him to Epstein. From there, their association grew as all three operated within elite circles of politics, wealth, and international philanthropy. By the year 2000, Prince Andrew was spending time socially with Epstein and Maxwell. Reports confirmed that he had invited them to several royal events, including a shooting party at Sandringham.
What the? I did not know they do that over there.
Gatherings at Windsor Castle and Buckingham Palace. These were not secretive meetings. They were part of the royal calendar, which included many international guests. Epstein and
It's just so shocking how many connections this nigga had. How can one person that came out of nowhere, the public didn't really know about Epstein like that before like all this came out. How is he connected to all of these people? Just a random dude. Industry plan? No, he was an industry plant, bro. Bro, setting things up. That's insane. Just when you think of all the connections, bro, it's like this had to be set up in his mind.
Maxwell's presence, however,
He's a
gained
spy?
later attention due to what was eventually revealed about their private criminal activities. One major moment of controversy came in December 2010, when Prince Andrew was photographed walking through Central Park with Jeffrey Epstein. This happened shortly after Epstein had been released from prison on charges related to the solicitation of a minor.
So he literally knew.
The public response was strong, as many questioned why a senior member of the British royal family would continue to associate with someone.
Bro, you think they care in the royal family, bro? Do you know how the royal family, like how they did things in the past? The word starts with an I and ends with a T. That is how their genes got passed, bro. Yes, incest. That is how the royal family worked through over time. I don't know when they broke it off, but it got broken off eventually. Is that why all Brits are chopped? All right, bro.
Already convicted of a sex crime. Buckingham Palace released a statement soon after, saying that the prince had ended his friendship with Epstein and regretted the meeting. The most serious issue connected to Prince.
This is not just some little thing you can regret. Bro, you were literally hanging out with somebody that was motherfucking convicted of soliciting a minor.
Andrew involves the allegations made by Virginia Giuffre, one of Epstein's most vocal accusers. In court filings, Giuffre claimed that she had been forced to have sexual encounters with Prince Andrew when she was only 17 years old.
Bro.
She alleged that these encounters happened in London, New York, and on Epstein's private island. A widely circulated photo shows Prince Andrew with his arm around Giuffre's waist at Ghislaine Maxwell's London home. Maxwell is also visible in the background. Andrew has denied any memory of meeting Giuffre and questioned the
It was literally in a lawsuit, gang. The lawsuit passed.
authenticity of the photo. In 2019, Prince Andrew gave an interview to BBC Newsnight in an attempt to explain his side of the story. He admitted that he had seen Epstein a few times a year in the early 2000s. He also acknowledged
They met in the 90s. Yeah, niggas already lying.
poor judgment,
Why are so many rich and famous people EDPs? It ends up being a power thing. Like a lot of them, especially like the men in those positions, they smash every type of girl, whatever, and they're like, all right, damn, what could I do? Then they try to change things, bro. Even Diddy too, bro. I guarantee Diddy was not gay in the past, bro. He had so many women, bro. He was like super famous in the 90s. And one day he was like, you know what? I'm gonna take one up the, yeah, he ended up being bi or something and ended up being a predator, and
especially in staying at Epstein's New York
he's been gay for a while, has he? I mean, at least not publicly. I mean, even publicly now, yeah, he denies it.
residence after his conviction. However, his explanations were widely seen as evasive, and the interview caused public backlash. As a result, Prince Andrew stepped back from public duties and lost several military titles and royal patronages.
what
It
you
was
get.
also revealed that Epstein had helped pay off a personal debt of Sarah Ferguson,
Wow.
Prince Andrew's former wife. In 2021, Virginia Giuffre
Is that like the only royal member in the family without a wife anymore? His wife divorced him? Okay, 1996, god damn. God damn. Yeah, he's 65 now.
filed a civil lawsuit against Prince Andrew in a United States federal court, though Andrew continued to deny all allegations.
Holy chop, bro. Yo, how are you in the royal family, bro, and you can't pay to get some veneers?
He eventually settled the case in early 2022. The settlement did not include an admission of guilt, but it further damaged his public image. As of 2025, Prince Andrew is no longer under investigation by US authorities, and he is free to travel internationally.
Wow, I wonder who put that in. As of 2025, she said in the lawsuit he did it. The lawsuit passed. He's free now, man.
Advocacy groups for Epstein's victims continue to call for more transparency, arguing that no powerful figure should be immune from accountability. Ghislaine Maxwell is one of the most significant figures in the story
Now
of
this woman just dead ass look evil, bro. She gonna rip off her face, bro. It's a demonic mask.
Jeffrey Epstein. Her relationship with him was not just personal, but also operational. She played a central role in building and maintaining the sex trafficking network that brought Epstein to
Bro, it's something especially disgusting too, bro. Being a woman, bro. Like, you understand how much these young girls get taken advantage of, bro, and you do it anyways. I mean, it's sick either way. A man doing it, obviously, but like a woman doing that, bro, like, come on.
global attention. Maxwell attended Oxford University and moved to New York shortly after her father's death in 1991. That move marked the beginning of her relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Their connection began through shared social circles, and by the mid-1990s, they had become extremely close. Epstein also referred to her as his best friend, and their partnership was both personal and professional. In public, Maxwell was often seen as a well-connected socialite, but in private, Witness accounts and court records showed she was deeply involved in Epstein's illegal activities. Employees at Epstein's home
And now what do they say? She may get a pardon? There are so many things that are happening right now where like, I just want to see where it goes. I just want to see if he actually would like pardon her or pardon Diddy and see the response. Bro, if niggas is actually sitting there, bro, still defending him, is game over. You're cooked.
Described her as the lady of the house. She helped manage his properties, handled money transfers, organized events, and monitored staff. However, her most serious role involved the recruitment and grooming of underage girls. Multiple victims testified that Maxwell approached them under the pretense of job opportunities.
Wow.
Some said she invited them for tea or shopping and acted as a trustworthy adult figure. Once trust was gained, they were brought into Epstein's homes and directed to give him massages, which often turned sexual. For example, a victim known as Jane described how Maxwell spent time with her and her mother before gradually introducing her to Epstein's abuse.
Wow.
Virginia Giuffre.
And that's how they do it, bro. They literally will like introduce like different types of abuse slowly. They try to come off as friendly. What a lot of these predators do, they go for people that are vulnerable especially, and they're like, oh, I can take care of you, this and that. And
He also accused Maxwell of recruiting her and claimed Maxwell was involved in the abuse itself. Maxwell's social connections helped extend Epstein's influence. She introduced him to high-profile figures such as Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, and Donald Trump. These introductions helped Epstein gain credibility.
Doing this as a girl is bad because girls will obviously trust and look up to older women. Exactly, yeah. That's exactly what makes it worse. Some dudes might be like, oh, why does she do it, this and that? Like, bro, it's different for like a men and women, like how we make connections and whatnot. Especially when you're younger, especially a girl, bro. I feel like it's way different as a man. The way you think. You're still like young. You still have a young mind, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
And access to more powerful circles. Many of the names that later
I forgot Bill Gates was involved
Epstein's contact book were likely shared through Maxwell's network. After Epstein's 2019 arrest and death, attention turned to Maxwell. She was arrested in 2020 and charged with several federal crimes, including sex trafficking of minors, conspiracy to transport minors, and perjury. Her trial began in late 2021. In December of that year, she was convicted on 5 of 6 counts.
5 of 6 is insane, bro. Nigga, Diddy got 2 out of 5. She got 5. They dropped 1. They said, all right, we're dropping this one. The rest of them, it's confirmed. You did it. Go in prison.
2. She was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison. She is currently serving her sentence in Florida. Maxwell has attempted to appeal her conviction. Her legal team argued that she was protected under a 2007 non-prosecution deal made with Epstein in Florida. However, courts rejected.
What? See, the thing is, I don't even know what that means. But there is no way she's trying to use something like that to get out of her crimes. Bro, the amount of loopholes, honestly, you could do in the American court system is like absurd to get things done. It's crazy, bro, that there is literally people out there that just straight up will do the crime, but they have a loophole in some type of way, and they can either drop it like 90% of the sentence lower, or they can just get out.
This claim, explaining that the agreement only covered local charges in Florida and did not apply to her case in New York. In 2025, her appeal reached the U.S. Supreme Court, but the Department of Justice recommended against reviewing it. There has also been public pressure for Maxwell to disclose more information about Epstein's network.
See, if she goes in front of Congress and says some shit, it might be GG's. Wasn't MJ on the island? He was, but it was confirmed like 2 years ago. I don't know when it was last year that he didn't do anything. Like the victim that was there said no, like he didn't do anything.
She has hinted at willingness to testify before Congress, but as of now, no official effort has been made to bring her forward. Chris Tucker is a famous comedian and actor best known for
this is the one that's kind of shocking, because like, what is Chris Tucker even involved with Epstein with? Like, how does this even make sense? I would never think this connection would even make sense.
Role in the Rush Hour movie series. His name has occasionally come up in discussions about Jeffrey Epstein, largely because of a single trip he took in 2002. In September 2002, Chris Tucker joined a humanitarian trip to several African countries. This trip was organized by the Clinton Foundation and included visits to South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Rwanda, and Mozambique. The purpose was to raise awareness about HIV.
Mozambique, ain't that a gun in Apex? My bad.
AIDS, and to support public health work across the continent. Other people on the trip included former US President Bill Clinton and actor Kevin Spacey. The group traveled on Jeffrey Epstein's private jet. Tucker's name appears in Epstein's flight logs from this trip. That fact alone has led to speculation. However, it is important to note that there is no evidence Tucker had a personal relationship with Epstein, or that he knew anything about Epstein's crimes. In fact, Tucker has stated publicly that he did not even know who Epstein was. In an interview,
see, this is exactly why the files should be released. I'm at least hoping there's no way everybody that went on the plane, like let's say you just went once you didn't know him, did something. If he didn't do nothing, bro, this essentially would just be like fucking up his career. Everybody would assume some shit unless if it came out. But hey, like I said, I don't know. I don't like assuming things, because maybe everybody on that plane did do something.
He referred to Epstein simply as this guy, indicating he was not someone Tucker was familiar with at the time. The speculation increased when comedian Cat Williams made a public joke that seemed to suggest Chris Tucker had been to Epstein's private island. However, no evidence supports that claim. Tucker has never been linked to Epstein's island, and no official record shows he had ever visited the property. No victims, legal documents, or investigations have connected Tucker to any misconduct. As of today, Chris Tucker has not been accused of any crime related to Jeffrey Epstein. He has not been mentioned in any lawsuits, criminal complaints, or credible media investigations.
I think this is just really showing you, like, don't take a free private flight from, like, you know, a random person you don't really know. Damn, but then again, it was just like a random person, like, yo, free flight to, like, Japan or some random place. Like, damn, free flight? Nah.
In Tucker's case, all evidence suggests he was part of a well-known humanitarian effort and had no deeper connection to Epstein. Naomi Campbell is one of the most recognizable supermodels in the world, known for her global fashion career and humanitarian efforts. She has also been connected, at least socially, to Jeffrey Epstein. Campbell reportedly met Jeffrey Epstein in 2001. According to her own account, the introduction came through her then boyfriend, Flavio Briatore.
That was her boyfriend? She was definitely with him for the money.
Campbell described Epstein as someone who is often seen at high-profile events, such as Victoria's Secret fashion shows, which were commonly attended by many public figures during that period. Her name appears in Epstein's contact list and on his private flight logs, specifically in the years 2001 and 2003. In Campbell's case, no evidence has surfaced suggesting she engaged in or was aware of Epstein's
Man, it would be such bad looks, bro, if it came out that a black woman did some shit on that island. Oh, man. I already know the comments I see on Twitter.
Criminal activities.
It'd be rough. Please, bro. Please tell me you're not on this.
One of the most prominent Epstein accusers, mentioned Naomi Campbell in unsealed court documents. Giuffre recalled meeting Campbell at a yacht birthday party hosted in the south of France. This detail is important but also limited. Giuffre never accused Campbell of any wrongdoing, nor did she suggest that Campbell was involved in abuse or trafficking. The mention served more to show how interconnected Epstein's social circle was, rather than to imply criminal activity by all attendees. In response to her—
Bro, it's the fact that nobody checked him, though. It's just, like, so crazy to me, bro. It's something about him being at all these rich events. You'd have to assume nobody is telling any of these high-profile celebrities, rich people, presidents, whatnot, etc.
Name being linked to Epstein.
Some of them knew, bro.
In a public statement in 2019, she said she was sickened by Epstein's crimes and offered her support to the victims. She addressed the fact that her name had appeared in court records and in the media, stating that while she had met Epstein through social circles, she had no involvement in his legal actions. She also expressed frustration that simply being photographed at the same event or listed in a contact book could lead to misleading narratives. She has publicly condemned Epstein's behavior.
If you have like one photo with him, alright, maybe you didn't know him. Multiple photos, that is kind of like, it's kind of strange.
And clarified her limited connection. To date, there has been no credible claim of misconduct against her related to this case. Alan Dershowitz is a well-known legal scholar, author, and former Harvard Law
looks like he's melting.
School professor who became connected to Jeffrey Epstein in the early 2000s. Their relationship began within elite academic and legal circles, but it eventually placed Dershowitz under intense public scrutiny due to both his legal work and later accusations. Dershowitz first met Epstein through mutual associates who were also involved in intellectual and philanthropic communities. Dershowitz reportedly viewed Epstein as intellectually curious and saw him as someone who enjoyed being surrounded by accomplished individuals. In 2005, when Epstein faced criminal investigation in
Wait, his first shit was 2005? I thought it was like 2008. Was that when he got convicted?
For soliciting a minor, Dershowitz joined his legal defense team. He played a key role in negotiating a plea deal with federal prosecutors. The final agreement allowed Epstein to plead guilty to 2 state-level charges, which led to a 13-month jail sentence.
Bro, could you imagine that? 13 months. There's niggas out there that have gotten longer sentences for having like weed in their car. For originally the sentence soliciting a minor.
With work release. Dershowitz later described this as a favorable plea, but insisted it was based on legal merit, not special.
Yeah, illegal merit. Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, you convinced the judge totally legally and said like, yeah, no, he's cool. Just give him like a year. He'll learn from his mistakes. Even though he's been doing this for the past like 15 years, he'll learn.
Privilege. The deal also controversially granted immunity to any unnamed co-conspirators. Dershowitz defended that clause as standard legal practice, but critics argued it gave Epstein's inner circle undue protection. Virginia Giuffre later alleged that she had been trafficked to several powerful men, including Alan Dershowitz. She claimed Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell forced her into sexual encounters with him when she was underage.
Wow.
Dershowitz denied the allegations forcefully, stating that he had never met Giuffre and that she was lying. He provided travel logs, records, and testimony to support his claim, and filed defamation lawsuits.
Oh, is that from the same court that gave him the 13-month plea? Is that the same place?
Against her and her legal team. Giuffre countersued. In 2022, the legal battle ended in a confidential settlement. As part of the agreement, Giuffre issued a public statement saying she may have made a mistake in identifying Dershowitz and acknowledged that her accusation may have been incorrect. Dershowitz emphasized that he had been vindicated and reiterated that he had always told the truth. Beyond his personal defense, Dershowitz has become
I'll be real, I'm not believing it.
vocal figure and calls for transparency around the Epstein case. He has urged the release of sealed documents and grand jury materials related to Epstein's network. He also supported the idea that Ghislaine Maxwell should be allowed.
Not even that, bro. She didn't even have to get paid, bro. When you are that high on like the law level, bro, even though American courts are pretty good, bro, it's like pretty easy if you're at like the high level where you know all these judges, you could literally just fucking bribe somebody, send a special investigator, scaring them into like making a deal. Blackmailing, yeah, blackmailing. It's like so much different stuff that happens.
Or even compelled to testify before Congress. He has also attempted to address ongoing rumors about a supposed Epstein client list. Dershowitz has said that no such list exists in the form people expect. Instead, he argues that law enforcement already knows which individuals were mentioned by victims, and that further speculation only distracts from the real evidence gathered during investigations. Although Dershowitz was never charged with any crime.
Bro, it's funny when they say a list doesn't exist, this and that. Maybe he didn't have a list where he was like writing every single name down of a person that just, I don't know, like was with the minor. There was definitely text messages he sent to people, calls, different thing, video, and evidence where they did stuff. That's why people say a list, bro. But there is definitely evidence out there that's convicting other people that they don't release.
And related to Epstein's actions. His involvement as a lawyer and the later accusations have made him a controversial figure. Thank you very much for watching.
Good video, good video. Hey man, I have a feeling this is all gonna come crashing down very soon. Just want to look at that. It's gonna be interesting when stuff actually does come out. A list actually does come out. People get exposed. Yeah man, if you're watching the 2, make sure to join the Discord and watch the streams.
Subscribe to Tommy and FG.